is quite difficult because I would expect that our members in Asia, Africa and Germany would answer the question. But if you ask me on my personal view, I think what I tried to overcome and what was successfully is the dominance of the German members. We had many processes within United Evangelical Mission that were still dominated by the German region. And I tried in the course of my term as General Secretary to come to a same level and to strengthen the ownership of the members in Asia and Africa and to build up more self-confidence in the whole process of discussing and decision-making. That has led to the fact that member churches cover costs of meetings, including the General Assembly in Parapat in 2018 that was completely covered by the 3 inviting member churches. Only the international flights were still on the UEM budget. Or the African region is already saving money for the General Assembly in 2025 because they want to show that they are committed to UEM not only in an ideological way but also in a material way. And therefore they also give us property so that for the future United Evangelical Mission will have the chance for income generating projects. So we received a plot of land where the new capital of Indonesia will be. We received a plot of land where we could build the new office in Dar es Salaam. All this shows that UEM is indeed an international organization where each member tries to improve for the benefit of all. After 26 years of internationalization of United Evangelical Mission, I'm very optimistic about the future of the organization. Just looking at this page, in the beginning of the mission, Buddhism, Confucianism, Islam and traditional religions were subject where missionaries wanted to convert people. But nowadays we work together. We respect each other, and the respect to other religions is also a kind of landmark how we respect one another within the communion of churches. 26 years of United Evangelical Mission means that we have developed a system where every member has the same rights and the same obligations. Talking about rights is that we share about the budget together, we decide about the budget together. Obligations is that every member will try to fulfill whatever the church or the institution can do to support the mission organization. Within our 39 members, we have reached a level of commitment and ownership towards the organization that they all want to support and work impressively hard for a sustainable mission organization that will also be capable to do the work in the field of God's mission in the future. With the knowledge that in future material resources coming from the north might diminish, they are now in a process to say, well, we have to make some changes to overcome this challenge. Changes in the terms of how can we from the south as Asian and African members contribute more, but also talking about changes in structure, how to become more dependent to the infrastructure of our members in Asia and Africa. With our philosophy of global learning in ecumenical perspective, we also have developed a system where from the very beginning all regions participating in developing ideas together. It is not that one in the north or one in the south will tell what to do. From the very beginning we sit together, we talk together. Nowadays quite often in digital forms, because we want to save CO2 emissions but also want to save money. But we create programs together. So what we, for instance, can see here is our church music program, a program coming in the last year, where we see that people from the south are working together and people from the north will join in. It is a program that we developed on the importance of music for church work and for mission work. The organization sustainable, the council together with the management team decided to have more equalized offices in the three regions. So we started with Asia, where we have a permanent office for United Evangelical Mission that belongs to the organization and that is large enough to have more staff as it had in the very beginning. We decided the last year to have an office in the African region also, in Dar es Salaam, that is going to be built in the next 2 years. That we have the infrastructure for the region and we have the office capacity for the future to have more staff in the region. So it is not concentrated to the north any longer in future. This makes a big impact to the ownership of our members in Asia and Africa to see that the work is not only centralized in Germany, in Wuppertal, but we have the same infrastructure and decision-making processes in the three regions. For doing so, we internationalized all our committees in the past 7 years. So we have committee meetings now online, where always people from the region Asia and Africa and Germany together discuss and decide about matters of the UEM. That is an interesting question, because when I was interviewed in 2015 from the council at that time, what I would see as a challenge for UEM, I said, well, we have 2 educational centers in Germany, but we have no educational center in Asia and Africa. And I was talking about that we might have an educational center in the future also in Asia or African region. But times changed. And the system we developed in United Evangelical Mission also changed. We developed by the time the idea of global learning in ecumenical perspective. What means we do not have a center in one of the regions, but we work together in all 3 regions. In the outcome, it has led to the decision to close the center that was here in the mission house on the Holy Mountain, and also the center that we had in Bielefeld-Bietel. But at the same time, we built up an infrastructure of personnel that a team internationally will work together. So currently the leader of the educational team is coming from Indonesia. We have people in that team coming from Germany, from Africa, from Asia. And they work together. So they are not representing an educational center in one of the regions, but they work for all 3 regions and develop together with the other staff in the region and with the member churches we have programs that would fit to the challenges of today's globalized work and our globalized mission organization. The General Assembly in Felix decided that one of the topics UEM shall deal with is discrimination in church and diaconia. Starting this process, we already see that it is an important topic for the future of UEM. But besides that, there are many other things we should consider. One is the utilization of social media. Seeing the reality of today's life, we have to take into account that social media is a main information task. And we need to improve that in all three regions. This is one thing we learn together with our churches in Asia and Africa, who are very active already now in social media. Actually, I would say the question is already not proper, because we do not talk any longer about learning from. We are talking about learning together in the concept of global learning. So it means that we learn together, and with that there are many options. German churches will learn together with Asia and Africa churches. For instance, to be courageous if it comes to mission, to speak about our faith in the public to the secular world, to present and advertise what Christian faith is about. This is something we learn together with our members in Asia and Africa, who do not have any problem so far to advertise their faith as a possible solution for the personal life. So it's not only a German topic that is discussed, but it is very differently discussed. So on the one hand, I hear a lot of pessimistic voices, especially in Germany, where it will go to. And on the other hand, I hear the voices coming from Asia and Africa who will not give up hope. They're still talking about the possibility of awakening on the one hand side. On the other hand side, they are talking about that we take up more commitment, because the ownership has been grown of UEM member churches in Asia and Africa. So that they say, we will try to cover what German churches cannot cover. We will send missionaries to Germany to support them in their endeavors to proclaim the gospel to the secular world they are living in. We will support whatever we can do for support for the German churches. We are not afraid at all of the situation, because we know that there always has been a shift, and we call it now in mission theological a continental shift of Christianity. So it started all in the area of Palestine, but it went to other regions. It was in South Asia where the center of Christianity was. It was in the region of Turkey and Greece in former times. It was in Northern Europe and North America, and now the continental shift is going with the Christianity to the south. And the south is strong enough so that we are sure God's mission will continue wherever we are called into it. were to be asked what I would recommend to my successor is to be very, very patient, especially in the beginning. Not to act immediately, but to listen to what are the concerns of our members. I had the big opportunity to be a co-worker in Java, where patience is one of the most valued attitudes of people. For that reason, I would say this is very important, to listen and see what are people looking for. And then to strengthen the ownership. So I put a lot of energy into strengthening the ownership, and maybe it is now the time also to strengthen the ownership of the German members again. So I put a lot of emphasis to Asia and Africa, and I hope I was successful. And maybe if an Asian General Secretary pays a lot of attention to the German members, that also will grow the ownership, being a member of UEM. I am quite confident that UEM will have a good time with my successor, so I have no problem to hand over to him the baton that I received a couple of years back from my predecessor, Philemon Beki. And this baton should stay in the office, I would say, as it was in mine. I have no idea what is the meaning, and I did ask also my predecessor, and he also said this has no idea what is the meaning. Okay. But it is a symbol of being the leader of United Evangelical Mission in the management team level. So God bless you and be with you all the time.